Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another CSL Season 5 playoff cast. This is the Northern Division Finals happening between CMU, that's right, Carnegie Mellon University, and University of Toronto. And, well, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump right on into the game. Playing as the Red Zerg, we have BrokenAxle, aka Alexander Lee, playing for Carnegie Mellon University. And on the other side of dual site, we do have the Green Terran Crimson, aka Jin Hong Cho. So I apologize for mispronouncing your name. I promise someday when I'm famous and really popular, I'll talk to you in advance and I'll find out exactly how to pronounce your name. So yes, that's right, this is game number 1 between UoT versus CMU, so a little bit exciting right here. Both players did play excellently, teams played excellently in their first series of games that I casted. I believe it was CMU versus RIT, and CMU played really well. It just seemed like they had prepared so much in their games. They really knew what they were doing, so... And that's not to say University of Toronto isn't the same. They also played excellently, going for 4-1 victory over their opponent, University of Western Ontario. And yes, CMU also had a 4-1 victory. So I realize now, as I'm saying this, I just gave away the spoilers of those games. So if you did not watch those semifinals, they're awesome. You really can get a chance to see these players play excellently. And no, we have an NG Bay to deny the hatchery. Wow, that SCV saw the drone get down and just decides to, oh, look at that, just juking back and forth. That's got to be so annoying for that poor drone. Crimson with a little bit of micro there to deny the hatchery for as long as possible, and that has 850 health. That is a lot of health for such a small building. And of course, once the Zerglings get out, Crimson will just be able to cancel it and get, I believe, 75% of the minerals back. So of 125, I'm going to do some quick math and I'm going to be wrong, but I think that's around 106 or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, 106. Oh yeah. So we have a pool going down for BrokenAxle. Looks like he did decide to switch up from that hatch first to that quick pool. We see some 4 Zerglings going out along with the Queen. So the Queen will be able to repel the SCV. And this drone is just working away on that NG Bay, just denying as long as possible. To be completely honest, if I were BrokenAxle, I would just run straight down to the 3rd and take the 3rd expansion, and then take the natural as my 3rd, just to get that extra hatchery down as fast as possible, unless it looks like we're going to be seeing some cheesy rush play coming down from Crimson. And just looking at his build so far, yep, that's a command center. So no cheesy play yet. We don't see any gases taken, so just going to get those Marines, scare away any Overlord scouts, and just kind of run around the map, take that fast expansion. So the Zerglings are now clearing it. And it was not cancelled, so it does seem like that was 125 minerals gone for Crimson. I believe he also lost that SCV. Just wandering around, units lost. Yeah, that SCV was killed. So now we have the Zerglings scouting around the map. They take the towers. They are going to run right past these Marines. So the Marines look like they may try to clear up a little bit of map presence. So here come the Zerglings. Let's see if they can do anything. And here come the Marines back again. These Zerglings are going to see them and just run away. Oh, run away, Zerglings. A little bit of damage to that SCV, but nothing too terrible. As the Zerglings do retreat, the 5 Marines are able to scare them away. So this bunker placement is really good. It just forces the Zerg opponent. Let's see, he's probably going to drop some supply depots down around this little area right here, just prevent any more any Zergling run-bys. So that really just prevents, when the Zerg does engage, to come in from the top, which decreases the area for a surround. So that's really cool. A little bit of cool placement. We did see both gases go down, and now a factory is going down. Let's see a reactor. That is in fact a reactor, so we are going to see some reactor Hellion harass going down, which is going to be very effective against this delayed hatcheries. And actually, it looks like we have some Zerglings now in production. I'm not sure if these are just defensive Zerglings. If we take a look, this is at, well, a little bit above optimal saturation. Let's see how many drones he's pulled. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good saturation, the main. So, and there it is, the 3rd does go down. These Zerglings, I don't know how effective they're going to be against those reactored Hellions. It really depends on BrokenAxle's control compared to Crimson's control with the Hellions, how much he's paying attention. Typically, we do see the Zerglings go and destroy the Hellions whenever the Terran isn't looking. So it's just sort of a unfortunate circumstance. So we do see 2 Hellions going out and another barracks going down along with a tech lab. So in a moment after these Hellions pop, oh no, it looks like we're going to go up to 4 Hellions for Crimson. But after those pop, we're probably going to see a switch between the barracks and the factory once again and into some standard siege tech. So here come the Hellions now. They will run right past that watchtower, and BrokenAxle will see and immediately pulls back with his Zerglings. So these Hellions are going to run down into the third, see the third go down. Luckily for that hatchery, they are only going to be taking 8 damage from those Hellions, and Crimson is watching for the Zerglings. Oh, BrokenAxle needs to be careful with those Zerglings. He doesn't have enough to get a solid surround, so the Hellions can just walk away. They do take a little bit of damage, but it wasn't really enough to justify that attack. So we do have a couple more drones going in production. I like this, not overreacting. I believe that is what won Crimson his game. He came in with some Hellion harass, very, very small Hellion harass, but his opponent, the Zerg, did overreact. I don't recall who that Zerg was, but he just produced far, far too many Zerglings to justify that. And these Hellions are just continuing to roast away at this hatchery. The units that are being created are going to die pretty quick. Oh, they're just Zerglings now, so they will be able to get away. There was already 1 drone roasted. So we have a lot of Zerglings going on now, a couple more, and I'm not sure I would call this overreacting just yet, but here we go. Here's the engage. Let's see. Oh, an excellent Crimson working himself into a corner, actually able to escape just a little bit. 1 Hellion does go down. A huge roast kills a lot of Zerglings. Oh man, those Hellions really, really did a lot of damage. We take a look at the units lost tab. 22 were killed. 22 units were killed. One of them was a drone, so 21 supply worth of Zerglings. Or actually, I'm not sure if it's 21 supply or 21 Zerglings, but somebody eventually will look into that. We do have Zergling scouting for the eventual third. As far as tech, we do have siege tanks on their way, with siege tech just about to finish with reactored marines and stim and combat shields. I'm not sure I agree with dropping both stim and combat shields at the same time, just having that queued up. What you could possibly do, Crimson, this is to you, buddy, is drop another engineering bay and use that money that is just currently sitting there doing nothing, and use that to get +2 and just wait for yourself to gather the minerals. So, here comes a very, very scary push from Crimson. He does have siege tech and stim, so let's go ahead and follow those marines. I was trying to remember my hotkey for a second there. Pushing out across the map, there are a lot of Zerglings and Banelings in production. Centrifugal hooks is also on the way. These Banelings are going to have to be very careful and try to engage these Marines on creep. But, oh man, Crimson just setting himself up in that ever so popular. It seems like every time we see a Terran on dual site, they always set themselves up in this particular position. Here comes the engage. Excellent surround with the Zerglings from behind. One siege tank goes down. The Banelings explode on the Marines, doing so much damage. And now the Banelings are just cleaning everything up. And BrokenAxle holds that excellently, really cleaning up that push, not even having to pull back his forward Zerglings that are set up for a backstab. So really excellent hold from BrokenAxle. Really is securing himself an economic advantage. We take a look at income. It is currently 55 to 41 harvesters, so a solid 14 supply ahead in measly workers. So Layer did finish for BrokenAxle. He is working on +1/+1 melee and carapace, so he's going for that Zergling Baneling composition. We do have an Overseer Scout now running around seeing everything, sees the 3rd Command Center go down, sees a factory and a reactor on the starport for reactored medevacs, and probably going to be more siege tanks. This is a very interesting Sim City we've got going on here. I think I like this, but I'm not sure. So if Crimson just raises this depot here and leaves this one lower, then the Zerg units will be forced to run all the way around and then go into the main, and even then the mineral line is almost completely walled off as it is. So really cool Sim City, kind of like a tower defense thing. Oh look, he's even walling off that little area over there. So really cool sort of building placement from Crimson. He's really thought this map through. So yeah, we have a couple Overlords spread around the map. Zergling watching for the 3rd, though he BrokenAxle did see that command center go down, so he knows what's going on. And it does look like we have some Zerglings moving out. No, not quite yet. As far as for what BrokenAxle's doing, he's taken his 4th. He's sticking on that Zergling Baneling composition. I'm not sure I agree with this unless he can literally overwhelm his opponent with those siege tanks and just walk through the splash damage. We do see one Marine scouting around the map now, and this medevac, I don't know if this Zergling is going to see it. No, it does. Oh, it does just barely see it. I don't think he was watching, though. The 4th hatchery is going down, so it's probably going to get caught out of position by that medevac, and we do have a Marine now scouting out. So, oh, this Marine is actually going to pull the Zerglings who are going to see the medevac. If we take a look at the vision for BrokenAxle, he has complete line of vision out to here, so he will see that medevac sneak by, and oh no, it just looks like the Marines are going to be dropped to try to take out that hatchery. Here come the Zerglings, just unfortunate timing for that Marine. If BrokenAxle keeps his Zerglings there, oh no, he actually decides to pull back. Crimson could stim and try to go in and take that hatchery real quick. Meanwhile, it does look like Crimson is pushing forward. He is not sieged yet. The Zerglings are now about to engage. I'm not sure I agree with this attack. Oh, and the siege tanks do manage to siege up. The Marines are now pushing down at the 3rd. They're doing a lot of damage with that stim. With that, let's see, they are at +1/+1, so that hatchery falls so quickly. And here come the Zerglings. They do look like they're going to engage, try to come around behind, get onto the siege tanks. The mainlings are going to try to go for the Marines. One big splash goes down, but I'm not sure if it's enough. These Marines may be able to clean up these Zerglings. Oh, with the infestor support, a huge fungal growth goes down, and the Zerglings are able to clean it up. A couple infested Terrans to get rid of the medevacs. Oh man, excellently cleaned up from BrokenAxle, but he really needs to get some Zerglings to take out that 3rd while it's still vulnerable. There are only a handful of Marines, 9 Marines defending that, so these there needs to be a Zergling counterattack to take that out, because he did lose his 4th, and we did have a drop from Crimson in the main, killing a couple workers. One Queen does go down, and here come the Zerglings now to clean that up. I'm not sure what building that was. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I'm sure it was vital. It was probably, let's see if we can just look around his base and guess. Oh, it's a spawning pool. The spawning pool went down. It's a bit difficult to make Zerglings have a Zergling Baneling composition when you don't have a spawning pool. So this is really kind of a bad spot, and we did have another drop going down in the natural, which is being cleaned up by these Zerglings. A couple of infestors now look like they will be able to clean this up with infested Terrans. Oh man, that Queen just polishes that up. We have an Ultralisk Cavern in production, so it looks like it's going to be Ultralisk Baneling from BrokenAxle because he has no spawning pool. Oh, there he goes. He now has the spawning pool. Should be researching adrenal glands. I really love it when people research adrenal glands. It doesn't seem like enough people do that. These Zerglings, oh, what are you doing, Zerglings? You need to get in there. Right-click that command center. Come on. Oh no, Crimson sees the Zerglings. He is going to be pulling some Marines, I think. Actually, it doesn't look like he is doing that yet. We do have a couple Marines and siege tanks defending that 3rd. There we go. Now the Zerglings are going to clean up this 4th for Crimson. So these infested Terrans actually just sneaking by. Going to see if they can... Oh, drawing the siege tank fire. I'm not sure I agree with that. What was he trying to do there? And here come the Zergling Ultralisks. They're just going to be able to mop this up so quickly as the Ultralisks just soak the damage from the command center. Oh no, the Infestors are caught a little bit out of position by these 2 Marines. Scans goes down to try to clean them up. Excellent spread from Crimson, but these infested Terrans will be able to help it out. Actually, the splash damage from the infested Terran egg kills one of the Infestors, so a little bit of bad placement there. So here we go, and now it looks like these Ultralisks are just going to be able to clean up that 3rd if they do ever decide to go over there. No, it doesn't look like they are. There are still just Marines in production for Crimson. BrokenAxle really is sitting in a pretty good spot right now. He just doesn't seem to be sealing the deal in any scenario. So this command center was lifted. There were a couple Marines to clean this up, and the Marine manages to survive with only 3 health. And the Infestors are out of position. Oh no, they are so dead. A scan is going to go down, I'm sure, in any second to clean that up. And oh, it looks like we have a small Marine counterattack. These Ultralisks, 2 fresh Ultras, now look like they're going to try to clean that up. And the Marines are doing a lot of damage to the Ultras. Oh, but instead, Crimson just decides to pick up and save that supply. So meanwhile, the other Ultralisks are still pretty low. I would recommend adding a couple more Queens just to heal them. And it does look like BrokenAxle wants to move out now. His +3 attack has finished, +2 carapace is also finished. I believe chitinous plating for the Ultralisks is also finished, so they're sitting at about 4 armor. And this hatchery is about to probably be saturated once this main mines itself out. So, here we go. Now it looks like BrokenAxle is going to try to engage at the 3rd. That is a planetary fortress. There are SCVs Maynarding now. Crimson needs to get around the SCVs to prevent the repair. Oh no, he thinks he can just take it out with that Ultralisk army. 9 Ultralisks clean it up, and they just demolish that planetary fortress and those SCVs so quickly. There are a couple of Marines now moving into the third, and a counterattack force of Marines and siege tanks hitting the third as well for BrokenAxle. So these siege tanks are going to be able to polish up those Zerglings super quick. But actually, it does look like one siege tank is about to go down. The drones now getting fired upon by the Marines. Oh, that's so painful. And now we do have the Zerglings and Ultralisks to pick that up, but the medevacs pick it up and fly away. So I'm not sure, actually, if BrokenAxle knows about that base. He actually did see a bunker, but he's not actually heading up there to scout it. A single Marine, in the meantime, is going to attack that base, and the drones are going to clean up the Marine. 3 health. It does die almost instantly. So let's see. BrokenAxle, you really need to scout around just a little bit more and see that your opponent is sitting on that 2-base economy, because the main is mined out for Crimson Axle. He did use a lot of mules, and the natural is also about to mine out, so we do have a very scary army pushing up. Infestor, Ultralisk, that is going to be fantastic. 162 supply to 135, and here come the Infestors now burrowing in to try to soak supposed siege tank fire. There are 3 siege tanks, so let's see what's going to go down. And BrokenAxle needs to be careful. The Marines are pushing forward a little bit, and a big fungal growth catches one of the medevacs. A second fungal growth gets a healthy pack of Marines, and here come the siege tanks now pushing in to fight. Excellent spread going down from Crimson just to deny that siege tank, Ultralisk splash, but there are so many Ultralisks with more streaming in, along with Zergling reinforcements, that they will be able to mop this up super quickly. And Infestor is now dropping even more fungal growths to do more damage. More siege tanks are just firing down upon this Zerg army. And once again, here's this awesome building placement I was talking about. These Ultralisks are going to be forced to run all the way around inside of the Terran base to clean up these Marines. Meanwhile, they can just continue to do damage to them. Some excellent tower defense building placement. We take a look at the upgrades. It is 2-2 to 3-2. Those Ultralisks do have that +2 armor from chitinous plating, so these Ultralisks look like they might go down. A couple of infested Terrans actually with some excellent placement to take out that siege tank. The natural is down, and Crimson GG's. An excellent game from BrokenAxle and Crimson, but game number 1 does go to Carnegie Mellon University with some very awesome play from BrokenAxle. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in game number 2.